Check, check. I don't think I got that. Yeah, check. I'm off to the black screen. You'll get used to if you watch my videos. I'm just off the what I call chart land, and I just decided to make a video real fast because we had all this blood, and I was spending a lot of time on the charts. Check it. Gimme. Okay. I was spending a lot of time talking to folks, making sure they're okay, trying to get everybody through this. Stocks are run. Had a lot of volatility. As you can see, Bitcoin is down 1%. We really only had, I think, about a 10% correction on BTC. So all BTC did was come right back to the leverage spot. And anybody leverage trading this with big leverage is probably taking profit on both those places that I've showed you. But not so much about the leverage today. This may or may not be the YouTube. I got to think about it. It's a client video, exclusive Saturday video, but it's kind of a special video because it's blood. But I may, in the middle of it, decide that it's going to be the YouTube video. So that's what I'll say about 10, 11, 2025 BTC. Just back to the leverage spot, really. And I still say that we have a blow here of 150. I've covered BTC pretty well. There was a Trump tweet that did this. The rest of the market, macro, if I'm going to think macro here, obviously alts. People have a lot of questions about alts. What should I do with my alts? You're going to have to let me kind of process it, and I'll process it with your clients over here one-on-one. Just come and talk to me. And obviously I won't be making videos again, or I won't be live again until Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So there's a pretty good gap here. And I'll make videos. And I just hadn't got to it because I had a lot of charts to look at. They absolutely brutalize these charts in many ways. And the response to that is very important. Let's take a peek at AVAX real quick. And you can see one of the better coins here that was making a move. And the thing about this one is I told people you'd already missed your entries anyway. Did I think it was going to correct that hard? No. I don't think anybody did. I mean, it's crypto, so it'll do it. But these are pretty. Now, this one took a 40% haircut. That is actually pretty god doggone normal compared to some of the other stuff. There's some of my charts on XRP where we lost 99%. Now it's liquidity issues, but the response is the most important thing here for people that's got coins. What should I do? What should I do? Is that a trade? Were you watching AVAX and you're interested in AVAX? I would say you're still interested in AVAX and you got a really good entry, but it started to bounce. The important thing here is when they start to add green, on this, they'll leave this wick behind. This wick is not big enough for them to be worried about if they're going to go bull. So are you bull or bear here? Because a lot of people are back and forth on if they're going lower or this or that. So that's what I'll say with a little bit of alts there. BTC, okay, but go to another BTC chart. So I think you're going to find that this thing went down about 10%. About 10% here. And really it's still bullish. I mean, it's still technically a higher low here. I mean, a higher high, or a higher low. Just a little bit more starting to go sideways. Sideways is bullish, you guys. And it should finish this out. And I think it will. I still do with the gold move. There's a lot of reasons why I feel this tether. And it was just a Trump tweet. Now, the last time Trump did this lasted for a while. Is all this priced in or not? Very important. Price discovery, priced in, Trump, a lot of micro going on out there. This shit was done like 3 minutes before the markets closed. So if you're in alts and you're hodling, or if your stops are run, Scott, what do you think? We'll be looking at it. I'll give you my as I process through these coins. And the first thing I'll tell you is there's a lot of discrepancies. So the percentages on Binance are different than the percentages on Coinbase and Kraken. And Kraken wicks went a lot lower. Now, as I'm rolling this board and I'm kind of looking, my eyes are looking at everything as I'm rolling by because I'm just taking a quick look because, again, I'm looking for recovery. What kind of recovery is this? Is this the flush like COVID? This is so much like COVID. What time did I start this video? It's just 12:42. I can't go too far with it because I'll probably end up, I think I may use this as the YouTube video, you guys micro clients, but the whole shenanigans of what has happened because there's this what happened with BTCD. It pushed. I've covered this a couple of times about my thoughts on the BTC topping and what it would cause, and we could be seeing more of this right here now. And what comes after that? Ethereum strength, and then alt season. Does that mean alts bleed the whole time like this? No. Do they take hits like this? Not necessarily, but that's what's happening right now. One of the biggest, bloodiest scenarios I've ever seen, but not so much with the big coins. Besides, I'll go to I showed you BTC. That's not, it was up top. I mean, there were so many reasons why BTC would correct like that up there. Bulls normally take off and go, and there's not those big corrections, but it was only 10%. And so many, right now it's only 10%. It just happened all at one time and it caused a liquidation event. But it also happened in all the other markets. And then crypto gets to process it all weekend. And so far, and that's why this is important. The dollar right back down, starting to print a wick. I talked about that. Fiat's long. Any of your major fiats, you'd be looking for longs, I say. And you would need to keep up with this and know what you're doing here for you to be able to make any money off this. But basically, long euro, long alt, long pound. But you need the fundamentals of those places, and you have to understand forex. But this also would alt season, strong Ethereum to 10,000. Has my calls changed on any of this? I'll have to study the structure on some of these because they literally took massive hits. Now, for Ethereum to correct like this, that's really not that big of a deal. Normal. It looked like they may take off from there. You possibly would have had some bull flag trading if they would have. But to come in here and pop back down in this, looks like 37. Now it dipped lower in on some other charts as you'll see. I'll show you Kraken. Bigger Kraken. You notice bigger levels down 33. It actually went to 33 there. Does that mean it'll go to 33 on other exchanges? No, because they do that a lot. You can look over, just look in the past. They'll do it going up and they'll do it going down too. So you can see sometimes it does, but normally it means they're going to go right back up when they print those wicks like that. So that's my call, and my call still stands at 10 K. This is my target there. Ethereum BTC gets a little bit more correction, and now you get to see how they can kind of correct this and not necessarily that much change. I mean, really, Ethereum sitting at 38 is not a big change for me from what was going on at all. So the two Bitcoins, what really happened? They pretty much ignored it. Will they come in and register it? In Monday, but they have all weekend, and they've already kind of took the hit, didn't they? Now this AI coin FET, and I was covering it right in here, and it looks like a good buy. Well, it's recovered on Binance. Has it recovered on the other exchanges? Has it recovered on Coinbase? Because there's a difference going on. There's always been a difference, but it's registering a little bit more. And it's registering in the tether pairs too. I don't know if we'll come across one because now I want to go to Litecoin, which I consider number three. Obviously, people consider XRP and all that. So, what happened to those coins? Because this is where it gets interesting. And GRT, another coin I like, absolutely crushed down there. AI Oracle. This is where it all gets interesting to me. Is okay. So let's go take a peek at Light, because really nothing really happened to BTC or Ethereum that wasn't normal, right? So what about all these other coins? And you start to pick up a lot of things now. So, I had some questions about LCX, which is one of the. It's just honestly, it's went by down there, and it's decided to correct all this, and it didn't. If you go looking at, or you just take a peek at some of those other charts I'm looking at now, it was already kind of dipping, and it was down in here, and it just took this next hit. I suspect it's going to recover if we're going to have a bull. So, good buys down here. I'm not going to rush and tell anybody to buy right now because we got to wait and see. It's an escalation, but it almost is like a bargaining chip is at the same time, and they have November to work it out. And the workout part is more what I tend to think that they're after, not this bloody stuff that happens with crypto. Margin calls is what I would say. So I would say no. At this point, I don't say reduce exposure, but a lot of coins have decided to go all the way down. But they've done it with this last hit. Is what I'll say about LCX. So we'll give you Lcoin, and then here's Binance. Just absolutely sent. Link went to $8. I don't think people realize that some of these exchanges went this low. $8. So you could have technically got a link at $8. Now, could you have got it on Coinbase for $8? just not half that. So here it absolutely went down, and in so many ways, it hasn't done anything abnormal here. I'm gonna clear the chart because we were doing some live work on this one. I would pull the entire leg now that they've done that type of correction, and they have decided, and I'd even go back. Oh, it's linkers thing. I'll go back, and it may be a little lower. There's wiki stuff here, so to tighten it up a little bit, you could even give it the 618 in so many ways. I can't tell you if we get another wave like we just had that any of this TA is going to work. It's not, and that's what I'll say about anybody saying they called this. I just don't. And the folks that I told you this was going to happen and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to be in agreement that this type of volatility could have really been called. Some of it, yeah, and that, yeah, I didn't say that. I didn't say these were good when I did my analysis. These weren't good entries. These were my good entries down here. We're right back to them, and we're recovering right now from a whole lot of crap. So targets, easy. You guys that pay attention to my videos, because I'm gonna put this one on YouTube. I don't know how long I've been going, but I'm about to just kind of wrap it up. I got enough content in it, and the timing's good. 50 and 100, and that's for one of my new clients. And I still see that. I don't, and I'm down to link, and I don't want to get light too. So, light, what happened to light? Now that's crazy. Okay, so that's the crazy part of this. Kraken sent light to 50. What did Coinbase do? 70. So Coinbase ended up 70. And this price action is abnormal because that is abnormal. Now they were having a conference and everything, but for light to go down 50%, have very abnormal, very leveraged, crazy crap going on. Take everybody out. My call was at 100 and we still sit at 100. And I don't think that if you had normal, well, they would have got you normal stop losses. They went after anybody. And I even keep my folks back about 20, 25, 30% with the stop losses. They went after everybody unless you got in early, Litecoin link. So I've got the big ones. The AI, there's a Fed trying to recover. We'll go all the way down. Obviously, the metals are still having their run. There's another AI trying to recover. And they got hit by 50 to 100%, bounced up to 25%. If they start to add, and they can have all weekend add to those wicks, and there's not another round of blood here, they can start to recover. The issue crypto and the alts have had recently and for a long time is they don't recover very fast. Here's another coin I like to see it, and you notice on over here it's up 25%. So on Bitfinex now, that's liquidity stuff. So I'll stop there, but there is some discrepancies going on. Scully GameFi starts to recover a little bit. Anything's going to have recovery. The recovery should be pretty bigger numbers. So liquidity. Now, one of the last videos I made for YouTube, I ended it with Sui. And you could have traded this. I talked about this area. I felt like they would take off from here, but what just happened sent it down to a place where it really becomes a really good spot trade. I feel like no rush. I still think Sui's going to go damn near close to 10. And it put it right back down there in the $2 range. So that's what I'll leave my alt guys on my YouTube that pay attention and take the time to watch my videos. And I do appreciate it. Sub, I understand some of you guys can't sub, like, engage. And I had a video where I said 50 people and come over to the Telegram. Just come in and introduce yourself and talk to Mr. Moneymaker and kind of engage and ask questions about the videos and show us that you're really part of, want to be part of what we're doing. And most of you, I'm going to already know or you've been around before. So that's where I'm going to leave YouTube, Blood, Trump, Macro. It was a tweet. It's tariffs. It looks like it's a negotiating chip. We have until November. A lot of people just got stopped out. A lot of people just freaked out. They don't understand. Another one was at the end of my video, one of my last videos. You can see absolute craziness on Kraken and really all the way across the board. So on Binance, any stop losses here, you just get wiped. There's just no other way. And look, it's right back. And they're just really bad about going now. And that's what I'll tell you about the alts. Gosh, I haven't looked at Theta in so long, but I'm assuming they all just fell from where they were at. And some broke bottoms, some have been around a long time, old school Theta. Some have been around a long time. But there you go. Track's recovering pretty good. So that's that AI. So it looks like AI. If I had to pick anything as I roll the board, I'd say AI. the VIX and the USDT both spiked. The VIX spiked first, but it was a Friday, and it just seemed like it was just a little bit of blood, and then all of a sudden, boom goes everything. USDT spikes, and then it prints a wick. And I still think in order for VTC to get much over 150, you got to go down in these levels. Will we make it to 180? Will we make it to 200? Will we make it to 250? Is it the top? I'm still not a bear. I am still not a bear, no matter if I watch any of the people out there that you send me. I do like watching Mr. Virtual Bacon. So that's what I'll say. I'll share a little bit of my crypto secrets at the end. I do like watching Mr. Virtual Bacon. No, I don't agree with everything. And I could end this video with XRP. I mean, brutality, just absolute brutality. That's on Bitstamp. Liquid, it's liquidity issues. Bitfinex, same thing. It's liquidity issues, but you can see this thing almost went down to where it started at, $90. It went to $1 over here. Now on Kraken, it went to $1.50. Excuse me. I don't looks like I have Coinbase up. I'm not really an XRP fan. I mean, I cover it, but it just looks like I don't have it. All the old schools got pretty hit. Zen, just it was an absolute crazy candle that propped up. And look, it's green. So it's recovered. And see, that's interesting. So at the end of this, I show you Zen, which was making a run, got absolutely cremated, and it started to recover on Coinbase and has had a good recovery, and it's adding to the green. That's important. The wick adding to the green. These wicks, you guys that I've taught y'all over the years, if you wait for them in a bull, they're gonna do the bull move and then come back later. And Zeke is another one down here. So I'll get this one in. You can see the recovery on Zeke is straight back up, running to where my target was, 300. So Zeke and 300 at the end. I'll see you in the next video. Damn it. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about the cough at the end. I was clearing my throat, but I didn't hit end fast enough.